Yeah, so the first of these comes out from the guys at the Army Painter, and this is that they announced that they're going to be releasing their version of a wet palette that's coming out in December. So for those people that want to get stuck into painting, and they've maybe looked at some of them online, or they use a homemade one or something like that, and you want to get yourself something that would be useful for your painting journey, then they're coming out one in December. You can check it out on their website right now. It's a standard sort of seal-up set that you can get. It comes with 2 pieces of the hydrofoam that will hold all the water. Then you've got some hydro sheets, things that go over the top, and then things that sort of allow you to put the paint onto and stuff like that. It'll also, as well as being useful as a wet palette, also allow you to carry around your brushes as well. So they've got space in there for you to fit a selection of the different brushes from their range as well. So yeah, just something for those people that maybe are getting started in painting. A lot of people have been starting to dive into it for Dungeons and Dragons, for example. They picked up a lot of their starter sets, either for the heroes or the monsters or the new Underdark one that's coming out as well. And so for those people that are starting out in that sort of area and you want to stay with Army Painter and use all of their techniques and ideas, there's a new wet palette from them coming out in December, which is very
sweet, cool. Because a wet palette does make all the difference to your painting.
It does make a huge difference. I use one all the time now because I will maybe paint for 20 minutes, go away for 30 minutes and come back, and on the wet palette my paint's still ready to go.
Yeah, but I have one of them bodgy ones that I've made myself.
Yeah.
So I don't have the luxury of having a nice tight fitting lid to keep it like wet
sealed,
for long periods of time. Jared, do you have a sealed one, or do you use like a bodgy one?
I use a little clip lock Tupperware container.
Yeah.
So it seals up well. So I start painting for 10 minutes and then I leave it for 2 or 3 days and then come back.
Like if you get one of these seal up ones, does it really keep for days?
Yeah. Yeah. As long as the water doesn't evaporate off, it keeps the paint cool, and so the paint doesn't evaporate. And so it's very handy. I quite like how they've got the little brush. See the little red bit?
Yeah.
So the brushes all clip into that, which means they actually pack away on the inside. So your brushes are upside down. So I'm just looking at the point where I'm going, can I just leave the paint on the paintbrush? No, I probably still shouldn't do that. But
yeah, because I'm slightly confused about this image, right?
Yeah.
So obviously you can see the lid.
Yeah.
You can see the paintbrush holdy bit.
Yeah.
Right? And then you can see the wet palette. Now, I'll put my paint on the wet palette.
Yeah.
Does my brush spick over the top?
Yeah. So you see the way you've got the ridge there?
Yeah.
It sits proud of it.
That sits upside down essentially. So it holds the paint brushes above your palette.
So the paintbrushes are which way up? This way? Are they dropping down? Like surely
we'll
your
need to get one in and open it.
Up. Well, we would have to get one and have a look at it.
Now, there was a little piece of advice a man gave me when he first started showing us wet palettes, which was if you take your wet palette and after you're done with it, actually store it in your refrigerator, it keeps the paint even longer.
Does it?
Yeah, because it keeps it cool, so there is zero evaporation.
No, I'm not going to say he's wrong, but I am going to say he's wrong.
Okay.
If you want to dry out something, what's the best place to put it, in the fridge or the oven?
The oven?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
How?
Because the oven will cook things. It will bake it. It will destroy it. Whereas if you've opened a bit of cheese in your fridge, it desiccates. It dries out and goes rock solid.
Right.
So yeah, if you put it in the fridge, it may keep it for a day or so.
Okay.
But you do get evaporation.
Okay.
Yeah. It doesn't negate evaporation.
Is the point not that it's sealed to stop the evaporation?
In that case, you don't need to put it in your fridge.
Yeah.
Unless you particularly want cold paint. On your lips, maybe. I don't know. Yeah.
I wonder about that.
There are times when I imagine Jerry
Bring Ben back, by the way.
Goes home with a wet palette. Sorry, Ben.
Yeah. You get home with a wet palette.
Good idea.
No, that's all I do.
I'm just getting visions of the Silence of the Lambs.
Sometimes, I go home with a lovely date for the weekend, but most of the time it's just a wet palette. It's the most I can do for.
So you're coming in from the pub 2:00 in the morning
with my wet palette under my arm.
There's nothing here to eat. There's some paint I don't need. Gone.